Morning, all you guys on YouTube, listening to this on my Mr. GTV YouTube channel. Thank you for joining me. I want you to check back all week, look at all the stuff that's in the YouTube channel, Mr. GTV, because I think you'll find it fascinating. Everything on Mr. GTV is for free with me, Mike G. And I'm going live now in the Facebook group. I really recommend, whether you're a Facebook fan or not, that maybe you get an anonymous Facebook channel and put no details in, but it's useful, even if you're not a Facebook fan, to find the Mr. GTV Facebook group, capital M, small r, capital G, capital T, capital V, Mr. GTV, because I'm Mr. G, I'm Michael Garner from MrMikeGarner.com, and I've been investigating human potential, reality, consciousness and energy for over 40 years. And we're going to be doing some amazing stuff. Let me sign into the live and then you can watch it, but go to the Facebook channel if you want to interact and see all the other stuff as well. So I'm going live now. Bear with me 30 seconds. Morning, gang. So this is an introduction to the subject that I thought. I'm recording this also for YouTube, and this is all about the law of the land, the law of water, and more importantly, where we're going with this is the law of magic. So let me just say hi. Now, this isn't going to be a long presentation. It's 9 o'clock in the morning, and most mornings, as best as I can, I'm going to come live and review the day, talk about what's coming next, and we're going to have maybe 7 to 10 days of this. I've been researching consciousness and energy for over 40 years, being a martial arts instructor, 4th Dan to start with, and then going into Reiki mastering, Reiki tutoring for the Reiki Institute, accredited, qualified and insured, and then getting into vortex healing and metaphysical studies and all things interesting, fascinating, fun, exciting and magic. Your mind is amazing. And the reason that I want to explore this in the group, Mr. GTV, and I'm recording this for you guys on YouTube, but I'm live with you guys actually in the Facebook channel, is because what's going on in the world at the moment, and I've got to be careful of my language, and I'm also aware that your comments and the things that you post have got to be, unfortunately, presented in a way that doesn't get us deleted or deplatformed or suspended. So be careful, guys. I work a lot with people end of life, people with trauma, people with pain, people with challenge, and they rely on me being online. So I don't want to get deleted. I have been deleted. I've been suspended. I've had all sorts of fact checks. Morning, Lynn. And so where I am with this is choose your language when you put any narrative into text or put any information into the group. So this is just a brief introduction into a presentation that's going to run for, as I say, 7 to 10 days. And it's about the law of land, the law of water and the law of magic. And the reason that we're going to explore this and many other hidden truths is because why are there hidden truths? And at the moment, this isn't conspiratorial, it's evidential. We'll be discussing the evidence, discussing the history. Morning, Beatrice. Discussing the evidence, discussing the history, and looking into what's been going on for not just decades, but for centuries, for millennia, thousands of years. I believe we've been duped and we've been given, morning Jan, we've been given a narrative through government etymology to govern your mentality, and through other world leader systems and hidden societies, which has guided, moulded and socially engineered the society that we've got at the moment. There's a massive shift going on at the moment. A lot of people said, well, the Mayan prophecies, what a load of bunkum. And that's a polite word, bunkum. Hi, Lorna. This bunkum, this conspiratorial stuff that people poo-poo, hi, Adele, is so relevant at the moment because we can see it happening in front of our very eyes. And the Mayans prophesied, and we'll go into this, that in 2012 there would be a shift. And there is. There's a reset. There's a controlling of all government institutions, of all world institutions, health, financial, corporate, domestic, genetics, pharmaceutical, educational, social, psychological, physiological. It's all being shifted. Everything is changing. Our access to information is disappearing as things get deleted, as we're unable to say things. We're getting our freedoms limited. And as I say, be careful what you say, guys. We don't want to get deleted. So we're going to look at what's been going on. There is the law of land. This is not your constitutional right, because constitutions change. Over the years, things that were legal are now illegal, things that were illegal are now legal, and they're changing the laws. So the law of the land isn't actually your birthright. Your birthright is the law of you, the law of me, the law of we. Constitutions come and go, as do creeds in religions. They are acts of parliament. And that's just people acting. Look at the words. People acting, playing the part of a judge, putting a costume on. And many other people wear costumes. It's all theatre. And they call it the theatre of war. It's theatre. It's a show. We're going to look over the next few days and a couple of weeks possibly, depending how interested you are and how much engagement I get, how much conversation this generates, positive, constructive, kind, loving conversation. Not saying that I'm right, this is for your consideration, but there's a massive manipulation, as I say, for years, decades, centuries, millennia, of what we're being told. And we're going to go into the fact that everybody's talking at the moment about the reset. There's been many resets. There's been many manipulations, and what we accept as historical fact is just spin. It's just, we know that history is recorded by the winners. The people that were attacked, the people that were abused, the people that were hustled out of the countries, off their land, didn't get a say, and if they did, it was deleted or it was debunked. Truth tellers, whistleblowers have been killed, silenced, and it's going on now. You can't say to me that this isn't happening. You try and say something freely on social media, what's going to happen? If you have an alternative view to the political mainstream agenda, what happens to you? There's people now that are qualified, and I work as a civilian consultant for the NHS, who've been silenced, who've been sacked, who've been ridiculed for putting an opinion in the public arena different to the mainstream narrative. Now, we're not going to go into negativity with this subject matter. We're going to look with fascination and interest and positively and constructively at what has been hidden, why it's been hidden, and what it's all about. There's a wonderful truth in the fact that if we, you, me, we, understood symbolism, then the veil would lift off all this hidden knowledge. That with symbolism, which are the logos that these corporations use, there's a lot of truth that they know that we don't know. And there's a hidden language which is called legalese. And this is where the law of water comes in. There are acts of parliament, which are just actors, giving us legislation, with no agreement, no consensus, no democracy. We haven't agreed to sign up for this. I don't know anybody who thinks that war's a good idea. Never met anybody who likes war. Wars have never worked, and yet why do we continually go into wars when we're supposed to live in a democracy? Because politicians use tell-lie vision to manipulate the truth, and they use actors. It's the theatre of war, and it happens in finances, and it happens in health, it happens in education. And there's lots of things that I'm going to offer you as evidence for your consideration in terms of buildings, transport, past energy networks, hidden knowledge, hidden science, stuff through symbols and hidden language, hidden cultures, lost civilizations, not lost, destroyed, for political, for spiritual reasons. I believe this is political and it's spiritual. I believe, and I'm going to offer you the opportunity to consider, not saying that I'm right, that this is satanic. Don't get scared by that. That this is light and dark forces, as it's always been, and there is an agenda of manipulation, and this dumbs down society and removes our personal power. And I'm all into personal power, so this is positive. When you understand what's going on and what's always gone on, you can then step into your power and dismiss it. We live in the world, but we don't have to be of the world, as many messiahs have said, that we're not from this world, that we're all star seeds, that we're all just pure consciousness, that we're just pure mind, and we can rise above this physical hellhole and find enlightenment. That's what I believe. I believe that we can be completely unaffected by this stuff when we understand what's going on and see it for what it is. So there's the law of the land, we'll talk about. There's the law of water, which you'll find fascinating. And there's the law of magic, which we'll conclude with. You are magic, you are a genie. You are unlimited, eternal, so powerful. But they don't want you to know that. Why? Because it's a satanic agenda. Not Satan or the devil as been described in the Bible and other religious books. No disrespect. But we're talking about dark matter and light matter and light and dark non-matter. And we'll go into that as well. You only have to look at the metaphysical stuff that I've demonstrated on YouTube for many years to understand that there's more to see than the human eye can perceive, that there's stuff in thin air. That thin air isn't thin air. Thin air isn't nothing, it's everything, it's intelligence. We live in a morphogenetic soup. We live in an intelligent universe, and you are powerful as the observer. That you, the observer, through the process of observation, can change the objects. I'll say that again, that you, the observer, through the process of observation, can change objects. You can shapeshift. Now you're going to go, oh, he's crazy now. No, I'm not. This is the law of magic, which we're going to come to at the end of this. And we're not going to go too deep. Every day, check back. I'm going to be offering you pictorial evidence, narrative, lives, videos for your consideration. Not saying that I'm right. I'm offering it evidentially for your consideration. And at the end of it, I think you'll realise, hand on heart, that you, me, we, as a collective, are super powerful, super positive, and we don't have to listen to all this shit that we're being told. We can shift. You've heard me say many times, you put an F in shit and it's S-H-I-F-T. Shift. But you'll only shift with knowledge. You'll only shift with knowledge. So I'm offering you the knowledge. The law of land, the law of water, the law of magic, occult laws, which occult just means hidden knowledge. It's not evil. That's been demonized falsely. Occult means hidden knowledge. Stuff that the governments governing your mentality don't want you to know. And this stuff was buried centuries ago. That's what all the Dark Ages was about. No light, all Dark Ages, and they buried all the light. They killed all what they called witches. They weren't witches as we've been told. Witchcraft was holistic practices, spiritual practices, Reiki, homeopathy, reflexology, all the things that are called New Age now, spiritual stuff, meditation, prayer, was all demonized by Western religions. They were called witches, and they were all put onto ducking stools and drowned and hung and burnt at the stake, the witches. That was a whole load of knowledge that was destroyed by an agenda that was agreed to by state and church. What's that about? It's going on now. The first thing that they did when the army went into Iraq and Iran was they destroyed the culture. They went into the mosques and destroyed all the history. They took away people's power. That's exactly what the Taliban do. They go in and destroy the churches. They go in and destroy all the books. They go in and destroy the education. And the British Army do the same, and the American Army do the same, and NASA do the same. That's what governments do. Yes, Melanie, they were midwives. They were called cunning women, which comes from cunnilingus. Cunning women, not witches, midwives, homeopaths. And all religions are valid. Islam's valid, Christianity's valid, Judaism is valid, the Baha'is are valid, Hare Krishnas are valid, Buddhism is valid. All the leaders, all the messiahs, all the prophets, most of their information has been twisted by what they call scribes, but actually they are spin doctors, as we have now, to spin, to lie, to change the truth and the power given by these messiahs to the masses, and twisted so that they put a pope in, or they put a rector or a vicar in, or a curate in, or a rabbi in, to twist the truth, to hide it from the people. We're going to lift the veil from this. And veil, etymology, V-E-I-L, turn the letters round, anagram, it's evil, E-V-I-L, same letters. It's like live. They want you to live a life, and if you rearrange the letters of live, it's veil and evil. Clues are in the words. And then we're going to be discovering and uncovering what's called legalese. Legalese is a hidden language which keeps us in ignorance and keeps certain elites and certain families and certain education schools and certain societies in the know. Like you've been told that you've got to work all week and get a mortgage. Do you know what the word mortgage means? Latin, mort gage, it's death grip. They are putting a death grip around your neck, so you've got to work Monday to Friday, and at weekend, you're weakened. Take your power away. Weekend, you're weakened. This is a slave language, which we're going to discuss briefly. The law of the land that's designed through social engineering for decades, centuries, to remove your power, to take away your sovereignty, which is why we're given a sovereign. You're sovereign, not the king or queen, you're sovereign, but we're told to bow down and wave a flag to the sovereign. No, you're sovereign. That's a lie. Take away your sovereignty, which is all about the law of the land. Use the law of the sea to control you, which has got no qualification, no validation, not democratic. Again, removing your power, and your power is in the law of magic, because you are magic. The old song in the Nativity, we three kings of Orient are. 3 kings. There were actually 3 magi, 3 magicians from Egypt. All the Egyptian Essenes, Jesus came out of them. A lot of Islamic messiahs came out of them. Judaism was born out of it. You've got to realise that they don't want you to know your power. They don't want you to know that you are magic. We're going to explore this. Be excited. It's fun. Check back for, if you're watching this in YouTube, guys, and pointing to my other camera, you need to get into the Mr. GTV Facebook group, because I'm going to be posting in there. I'll be doing lives in both forums, but I'll be posting information which is fascinating and for your discussion and consideration starting today, and it'll be running for 7 to 10 days. Love this, guys. Share this, guys. Contribute positively. Let's not create conflict in the group. There's enough conflict out there. Let's share because we care. Let's value everybody's opinion, even if you disagree. Let's unite around where we agree. And let's have a wonderful week on Mr. GTV for free with me, Mike G. Be powerful, guys. Keep checking back. God bless you all. Take care. See you later. Bye, YouTube.